There may have been something here and there after that.
In my defense, we're from 2 different shifts.
Okay.
And the last time I seen you, you
when
had
was
a
the last
beard.
time you picked up you bitch, that means you saw me in fucking November.
Yeah, I was around then.
We're more than halfway through April.
Look, okay. At most, I've probably taken 3 months off, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why I did. Okay, you ready?
Well, walk and talk. Walk and talk.
Because a few months ago, I started going to sleep and waking up, and the hour was the same, but the AM and the PM were different. I did that consistently for days.
Who hurt you?
Nobody hurt me. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so your AMs and your PMs change. What shift were you before?
Shift 1, still shift 1.
That's debatable.
You don't think I'm
If
shift
your
1?
AMs and your PMs have changed, how'd that work? Doesn't that mean you're now like 2 and 3 or something?
No. When I say my AMs and PMs were shift, I'm telling you I slept 12 hours every day.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is
Oh,
woke
I
up at the same
fucking
time.
wish. Holy fuck. The things I would do to be able to sleep. The only time you catching me sleeping 12 hours is if my dumbass has been up for like 24 hours.
You locked the car. I couldn't work on it.
Fuck, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Holy fuck. I'm gonna give you, it's a 3 across, I'm fairly certain, but
Yeah.
I'll
Nice job.
damn it.
But yeah, you think I picked the right guy?
No.
So, no.
No. Because
You think it should-
again, you're gonna run into the same issue. Even if they're very nice and friendly, like, people are just not gonna... Okay, number one, you know that everyone collectively agrees that the mayor should realistically never have, I don't want to say oversight, but like, control over who leads any of the PDs, right?
I'm gonna be harsh when I say this, because while I agree with you, it's the world we live in. So
Yep.
you better
Right, but understand you're
fall
gonna
in
piss a
line or
lot of people
fall
off. Well, Duncan,
Everyone gets pissed off
don't
anyway.
tell me to fucking fall in line, bucko.
Anyway, I want to talk to you because it was important that I talk to you because you have experience in this spot.
Uh-huh.
I understand that Elena wants to do things a little bit differently this time around, and it's gonna be a case of her pushing legislation or strong recommendations of how the department should run. And you know, same with Max and with Nino. And do we have another mayor between them?
No.
That I just forgot about.
I don't think so. Maybe we have, and I just don't remember.
Same with Max, same with Nino. It's easy for people to say, "Oh, just don't listen to the mayor and just do whatever you want." But if it's not me and I'm defying the mayor and they replace me with someone else, they're gonna keep doing it until they kind of get what they want within reason. Obviously, there's things you could be like, "That's just not gonna happen," right? People don't get that though. We've seen it before. Remember the quota? Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Good
Very
times.
much so.
Good times.
Yeah, I don't.
I need to know how to respectfully tell people. I will try to make things not as painful for you, but if it's legislated, it is what it is. If you really don't like what's being legislated, go make the audit thing. You get like 50 signatures.
Okay, but what legislation do you think is a point of contention or will be a point of contention?
Anything that majorly changes things. I'm not saying she's making a quota system or anything like that.
Because slowing a race on marathon.
Huh? What?
I just had a question. The numbers on top of my car, do they need to be gold or?
Yes. So
like
I can
gray
give
okay?
you a report number if you need it for the colors.
Oh, lovely.
Oh,
That would be
shit.
great.
It
Can't fix
is
mine then.
8985. Oh, actually, I lied. It can be black.
Oh, okay, lovely. So
Okay, I
hold
don't
on,
need
let
to
me bring
fix
it
it.
over.
Right eastbound through the park towards Alta. Right southbound Alta.
I'm gonna be honest.
So this is fine.
Yes, based upon so if you look at the report that I just mentioned, so 8985, that states the call sign colors on the top of the car can be either black or gold. And it has the hex code for all of the colors there in case you do need it for changing it. Would highly recommend bookmarking because if you do get another car, especially if you rock like any of the darker colors, the black lettering or numbers on top looks a little wonky.
Okay.
But full disclosure, if you are OCD, the top, the color of the numbers on top changes depending on where you are and is not always going to be an exact match to delivery yellow, so or gold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it being black.
Then you should be good.
Cool.
You should be good.
All right.
And then if
I need
you
to like upgrade this thing.
yeah, probably. Any PD vehicle that's not upgraded, it will be absolute ass. Just straight up I'm being straight up. It's your biggest upgrade is likely going to be a set of tires. But additionally a turbo, brakes, and stuff like that.
Okay. Hey, Bean.
Morning. I got
Nice to see you, by the way.
tires if you want them and a bunch of other parts.
You too.
Northbound towards Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, I just need to throw whatever I can on this thing.
If you change your call sign on top, just make sure you do it in there, not through like the Benny's thing.
Yeah, I did it. Wait, I did it in Benny's.
If you were to head
yeah.
down into the garage, because I've seen some people manually go through and select all three of their numbers, have someone modify.
Yeah,
We got the local person, thankfully.
I mean, so I've done that now. Should I just leave it like that, or should I also do the other thing?
The way I said, or the way that I've told you other people did it. Yeah, no, you're good doing it that way. That's how it should be done. Because otherwise, shared vehicles are just an absolute mess to deal with.
So if I'm using a shared vehicle, I should do it that way you said.
The way that way should be the way you do it at all times. There's no actual difference. It's just you don't have to sit there and pay for 3 separate modifications for.
I mean, I've already done it. So.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it.
I mean, this is my car anyway, so.
The other thing I would recommend, well, actually, from this angle, your window tints look really dark, but it's actually not at all. We have some cars that are pitch black with the window tint. And if you were to ever have to fire from your vehicle, let me tell you, it's no bueno. It's no bueno.
Yeah, I think I made it so that, like, from the inside, it's still very visible.
Yeah. No, it's good. It was the angle from where I'm looking right now, because it's, like, pitched down into the black interior. It looked pitch black, but it's not. You're good.
Could I change the interior to be, like, right?
I don't think so. Unfortunately not.
Your tires are
You can
fucked.
pass me whenever.
I haven't used this car in 8 months. I hope they're fucked.
No, I mean, like, everything else is, like, high 90s, but your tires are, like, 70.
I don't know what that means. I'm not a car person.
You might need to go get a...
Rainer, thank you. I appreciate it.
I got her. We'll just throw some tires on.
I don't want to talk. Like, I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to talk about what she might be doing too much. Because I'm negative 10 million speech. And a lot of her ideas need to be explained delicately. but people are adverse to change. So I'm pretty much coming to you as someone who used to be in that position. How do you explain to people nothing that gets passed is permanent? Things are experimental and open to be tried, and if it doesn't work, it can always be fixed. To throw your throw your toys in the stand and say, no, I hate this and I hate the mayor and I'm not gonna stand for it, is not gonna be productive.
Well,
Exactly like that.
No, don't do that. So do consider, Duncan, all of the bullshit that we've dealt with for a very long time, and understand that over the past, when did Turner get rehired? Let me find out. February 1st. The PD has been stable for 2.5 months. So I can assure you, though I understand, change isn't always bad, though people are resistant to change. It has been 16 fucking months. And of those 16 months, only 2.5 at most have been enjoyable. So now, in my opinion, is not. I know that's not the answer you're looking for. Now is not the let's fuck everything up and just say that we can change it back. Like, because those things have been promised in the past and have never actually happened.
I will say, the ideas aren't bad. Like, nothing is going to affect any stuff. It just people might have a knee-jerk reaction, or like, we'll call it PTSD.
Okay, wonderful. Shouldn't happen. If you have to warn of the potential of PTSD, like, that sounds not healthy at all. Here's the reality of the situation. From my understanding, based upon legislation, they can pick the sheriff. But ultimately, the sheriff is going to decide the direction of the department.
My hands are tied if legislation gets passed. So,
what legislation?
Anything that might make people cry.
It's gonna be by the pink cage.
Hold on. So I'm sorry. Is like the implication here that there's going to be legislation that gives the mayor more power over the PD? Because if so, I can assure you, and I mean this with my whole fucking chest, every bit of it, Duncan. If a mayor attempts to get more power over any of the police departments, if they showed up dead, good riddance. Don't care who it is. Because I'm tired of people who just want power.
Okay. That's not what's going to happen. Maybe
good.
Maybe I should tell what her idea is, just so that you're like, so you understand a little bit. But just know, me explaining it is not doing it justice.
We got 4 units on scene currently. So
She's basically
okay.
trying to make some sort of communication pathway to mediate between situations happening between BCSO deputies and non-cops.
280-23.
I don't want to say civilians because criminals fall under that too, but criminals are also civilians.
Uh-huh.
And the results are really negligible. Like, you're not going to be fired or anything like that. At most, the department would have some sort of demerit, and if you get enough demerits, the pay would go down. But it could also be fixed very easily by doing more community outreach and being involved with the community. Like, let's say we get demerit because Deputy Carmine beat a suspect. Instead of going to court and getting sued, they she would get evaluated, and then she decides, yeah, BCS so messed up, do right by it. We set below a barbecue, demerit goes away, pay stays the same. So it's it's community engaging and good, but I have a feeling
But what makes you
No.
think someone isn't going to try to double up on both that and a lawsuit?
The hope, it comes from a
No,
difference. The hope is that-
not the hope, or I believe. Okay, because Duncan, you know how people are. If someone is going to go through the effort of wanting to sue, they're going to do everything in their power to push that person down the best they can.
Sorry, I just
Well, this is a great question for Elena if you ever run into her.
Uh-huh.
Explain it better. But also, she's also open to feedback and not pushing things that are really bad when she gets a good impression of it. My only worry is that people are just going to hear something like that and
Complain.
Their first,
everything.
yeah, their first, yeah. Now you see where I'm coming from, where it's not a bad idea. It's just, it might spark some PTSD.
I guess I'll set the pursuit order while Ricky's making negotiations.
I'm confused though, because
three individuals
why?
Some of them with firearms that are going to be requested.
Okay, hear me out. Carmine does something wrong, right?
As well as
I'm assuming. Wait, is this supposed to be something statewide, not just one or the other?
It sounds like, and I'm saying this just from what I heard. It sounds like there's going to be two separate ideas being pushed by separate counties. So the LSPD might actually have like an even worse one with it's Nino. They might even have a worse like version of it that is going to be a lot more cruel. BCSO might be the one to be at.
You guys record any more 77s in the bank?
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Okay, for starters, I think if something like this is being pushed, it has to be pushed for all departments, not just one. So it would have to be statewide. And the reason for that is, number one, I don't know how.
Yeah, channel 2's available. Channel 2's available.
Let me rephrase this.
Thank you,
so much, dispatch.
If there's a situation that involves both an LSPD officer and a BCSO officer, and they're both, you know, guilty of some form of misconduct, and let's say this passes up north, right? Let's say this passes up north, but doesn't pass down in the south. I think it would be very silly for there to be consequence related to our financial status to one department and not the other, even if they've done identical behaviors. Now, I know that's out of her control. I know she can only push for stuff up north, and if
I'm sure
the south...
her and Nino can collaborate and get the feedback to probably.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is like, trying to
transfer to get out of consequences.
No. It had nothing to do with transferring to get out of consequence. For me, the biggest issue is that an entire department gets punished for the actions of a few, and I don't like that at all.
Oh, no, this is why I think it'd be better for her to explain, because all it takes is an active sheriff to make it like not even happen, right? So let's say it's Carmine does that stupid shit, we get a demerit. You need like 3. This is also adjustable, it's just a work in progress. But from the last I heard, like you need 3 demerits. So let's say I'm proactive about it. I could be like, Carmine, you need to make things right. Go host a barbecue for the BCSO in Grapeseed, and the demerit is gone just from that. So I would be proactive in making sure that number stays 1 or 2 or less, 2, 1 or 0. And if I'm not active in doing that, then it goes to 3, and then you guys can blame me for it. And if Carmine, let's say it's not Carmine, let's say it's another deputy that's like, I don't fucking care. It was just a mistake. Fuck you, I'm going back on patrol. It doesn't even need to be him that does it. I can just be like, all right, you know what, I'll pick up the slack. I'll do this barbecue, or I'll host this license, ranger license thing going.
This just sounds like Carmine should be punished. Nobody else.
I can also punish him too.
Okay, but
I can punish him.
But how does this?
I can get the demerit
hypothetical.
Yes.
Let's assume Carmine's in the BCSO. Let's say something happened. Let's assume everything happened up north, so there's no issue of jurisdiction or any of that bullshit, right? How is that going to work if, let's say Carmine shot someone who probably should not have been shot, right? let's say it was a judgment call. Like, are we going to
Got a lot of users on channel
are we going to jump to conclusions as to whether or not something was legal while issuing these? I'll refer to it as a punishment, but I understand the concept of it. But just for clarity's sake, we'll just say the punishment or the consequence, you know, regarding this potential new piece of legislation. Let's assume Carmine shot someone, and at face value, it sounds bad. But it goes to court, and it's eventually deemed, like, given the information he had available at that time, he was justified in doing what he did, right? He had a good faith belief. How do we simultaneously take the court statement of they had a good faith belief and also say you did wrong? You see where I'm getting at here? Because I'm not leaving my, you know, consequence to number one, people who weren't present. Like, it just, I don't know. I don't like it at face value, I will say, but go on.
The case law of qualified immunity should cover those moments. This is for, like, it's very blatantly obvious. Like, Carmen opened up his door and reversed onto a suspect and went, "Fuck you, bitch."
Yes, but Duncan, let's not forget how prior pieces of legislation were intended to be a certain way, but you can't always trust that that power is going to be utilized in that way.
All right, and if I promise, especially what I want to do as sheriff is I want to make sure that any sort of, like, I want to make sure the day-to-day is fine. People who don't, I don't want people to be tied to Carmine's fuck-ups if he was in the department, right? If we truly somehow got that demerit and it was truly not anyone's fault, and you know, the tides are turned against us, and they're the court of, you know, that thing, I would go out of my way to just get rid of the demerit myself. I would pull Carmine aside and say, "Hey, I know you're 98% of you're a fucking goofball idiot, but this time you were right. And, you know, sometimes we just don't, you know, win in the courts. Don't worry about it. You're not in trouble. Go back on duty, and I'll just go do what I need to do to get the demerit removed. I will humbly, you know, take the bullet."
So who are the demerits actually issued by? You or the mayor?
The mayor.
Okay, you have an overwhelming fuck no from me. Straight up.
Oh, yeah, I haven't said the J word yet.
I don't even care what the J word is.
The mayor and 3 impartial jurors.
Duncan?
Yeah?
Do you know why we don't have juries?
Yeah, I can understand. I'll actually give you a guess. 99% of people fucking hate us.
Wow. Wow, Duncan.
But
impartial jurors.
I'll tell you, this is like, there's a perfect questions for her because she's been working on this like it's like a passion project, and the solution to that is like pulling dispatchers or even LSPD, since it's not BCSO, or you know, EMS or whatever, like pulling from people who will actually be impartial.
People with no concept of what would and would not be legal in the eyes of the law.
I'm giving you a
no, I understand where you're coming from. I'm telling you, there's far too many fucking loopholes, and this is something that is not safe in the wrong hands. I'm just saying, like you have to ask yourself, not you, but Elena has to ask herself, like, sure, while I'm the mayor, this could probably be really good. But if Kyle Pred was the mayor with the same piece of legislation, how would it be weaponized?
I implore you to give that feedback. She's talking to some deputies about it, and I think she will get a more, she'll be able to build on it more, maybe perfect it with more feedback, or maybe not do it at all. You know, she says she's open to feedback and adjustments. It's not like she's like a dictator or anything. But she says she's going to plan to talk to McNulty and talk to Ventura, and I know those two will give the same thing feedback you're giving, which is this sounds really bad.
So okay, here's the genuine reality. I don't think Princess would ever have bad intent, regardless of the circumstances, right? And I think
her whole intent is to like
this
stop Hell Week and useless court cases. Useless court cases and Hell Week.
Okay, and what happens in the event where we're tasked with, let's say, doing a community event down on Grove because we pissed off the manor, right? And then we get shot for doing as instructed. Who's held liable for that? Because if it's not the person issuing the punishment, and acknowledging that, like, the reason we don't go to areas like that oftentimes is because we're unwelcomed and threatened and shot, ask Trig, right? Then what?
Oh, she's not the one who issues the punishment what need to do. That's me. I can decide that's the stupid idea. Why don't you guys have a barbecue in Grapeseed instead? It's me. And I don't even have to make you guys do that. I can just do something entirely different to get the demerit removed. The only thing that she's sure her office is doing is just issuing the demerit, and if you get 3 of them, or 4 or 5, I don't know what the exact number is, then the pay goes down. And I can stop that from happening before it even gets to that point by being proactive in, and also I could just dap Carmine. If it's actually something he actually did and he did horrible, I can just dap him and get the demerit removed. Because that's just simple, you know? The idea is to incentivize actually holding people accountable for dumb shit, because apparently, I guess probably an easy thing to hear from, you know, civilians is that we don't hold each other accountable. This is the solution to that. But even though we do hold each other accountable, but according to things that civilians have said to her, that we don't.
We don't get held accountable?
Yeah, somebody told her that Quangle beat a suspect in the cells and told Ventura to look away, and he did.
I mean, I don't know whether or not that's true, but like, I think if something like that happened, yeah, that's very problematic. Whether or not it did, like, is there a civil case over this?
Nope.
You know what? I have a caveat. I have a caveat, and I'm fully on board. Well, there should be an expiration of this legislation. Well, it's not that I'm trying to convince you. I'm just trying to tell you that, like, you want my opinion, and I think under Elena it would mostly be fine. But couple caveats. This thing expire at the end of Elena's term. I don't know if that's even doable within legislation. But additionally, any complaint must be accompanied by a civil suit. Otherwise, not to be taken seriously. And the conclusion of that civil suit obviously has it carries a big weight. Because if the officer is found to have done nothing wrong, then there should have never been a demerit. Even if that means the demerit, the associated demerit, is put on a like a pending list. And then the moment there's a conclusion to that civil suit, maybe I could see that working. Because otherwise, people are going to just hyper-focus on trying to complain about everything they possibly fucking can. And then you're going to have command. We're going to be miserable dealing with a bunch of bullshit because people are making false reports over shit that didn't happen. Because truthfully, that is going to happen. Straight up, it is. People are going to lie.
This sounds like great feedback for her.
Uh-huh.
When I came to you mostly, I know I had to explain that. I didn't want to because like I said, I'd rather she explain it because it is delicate. It has the J word in it.
Right.
I saw your face get pale as soon as you heard the J word.
Well, it's one of those like you think you do but you don't moments. Because there's too many.
Mean?
Have you never heard the whole WoW Classic meme? You think you do but you don't, as in you think you want it but you don't actually want it. You never heard that?
No.
Well, it's essentially something that looks good on paper, sounds good, but when put into effect, is not good at all, considering all the fucking loopholes and downsides to whatever the, you know, the discussion
I expect
is.
it to either not pass or be like repealed. I fully expect that. All I've come to you for. I didn't come to try to sell her stuff to you or anything like that. All I'm trying to ask you for is, what should I do in advance if I do get this, and this stuff does get passed? How do I keep people from losing their heads and just working with it for the time being?
You don't. People are going to complain whether or not you tell them not to. They're either going to like it or they're not. There's literally is nothing you can do. You can try to soften the blow by doing the typical PR speech of, well, listen, guys, if it doesn't work, these things can be walked backwards. But you and I both know that's not actually going to happen. Name one piece of legislation that's been walked backwards.
The previous government's entire discography.
Yep. How long ago?
Last year.
Yep. That was about what, 9 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one time 9 months ago.
The Lorax legislation she recently passed.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
You need a license to log.
Okay, so realistically, something that should have never been legislated to begin with?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't mean that. I'm not being, like, facetious when I say that. I'm just saying we have way too much fucking legislation that the bullshit legislation thrown in between to sprinkle whatever people want into legislation is bullshit because there's way too fucking much and no one's keeping up. The fact that you said the Lorax legislation and I had no idea what you were talking about is wild.
Yeah.
The TLDR, Duncan, you can't. People are they're gonna hear it. They're gonna panic. They have every right to panic, given everything that we've dealt with in the past. And you know, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of it. Listen, I don't want to be, you know, always a Debbie Downer, okay? It's just
that's why I spoke to you. You know, you've been around. You know, yeah. I want to tell you what my expectations are.
76 CMC 147.
hit me with it.
She's going to get reelected. She's going to do sheriff interviews. She's going to pick me. People are going to absolutely fucking lose their brain cells at hearing my name and not anyone else. They're going to be like, he's never around. He's not going to be around. Inactive sheriff. I'm going to hold off a week before doing anything. I don't know what I'm going to do about Aspen and Cassidy because I would like people to retain their spots, but that's 5 captains if I just put them in captain for the time being. So I'll figure that out as I go, and I'll take a week, and I will be around like 16 hours a day, and I'll talk to as many people as I can and ask them where they want to be, what they see themselves, what rank do they want. Do they want to keep doing this? I'm not looking to drop people. I'm hoping that people will clear themselves out on their own because it's me, and that will help with some of the limit. Because I'm assuming it's not explicitly written anywhere, but I'm assuming 3 captains is probably a max, right?
That I don't know.
Well, yeah. So I would have 5 Aspen, like I don't want to be like Aspen, Cassidy. You guys are now senior officers or deputies or whatever. Like I prefer they kind of just stick to what they're doing until I sort things out. If they want to, obviously, what I'm hoping. It sounds bad, like I don't like them, but it's like it just makes it easier. I'm hoping they're like, yeah, I had my time, but I'm gonna go just be a deputy now, or I'm gonna transfer because fuck you. Or I'm hoping
I don't
I
think
get some of
anyone's
that.
gonna transfer.
Oh yeah, no. If you guys, if you think this idea is bad, just imagine what Nino's is gonna be. Just
Yeah,
imagine.
I don't know. I don't
Brainstorm
know.
on that one.
No, my brain is shut off at this point because I'm a lot of this is just like, again, there's some semblance of like stability in the PD, and every time elections roll around, every time without fail, everything's just thrown up in the air and it's ass.
I think once I get through the first 2 weeks, I can make it stable again, as long as people work with me. I just need to get through that initial transitionary period where I just need to talk to as many people as possible and see what they want. Because who knows I might learn. I might learn that fucking maybe Bruce is really wants to do more than what he's doing already, and no one's really give him the shot yet. Or maybe somebody doesn't want the position they want. For example, a senior deputy in shift 3 doesn't probably want that senior deputy rank, but it's enforced on them. Maybe when I can talk to everyone, I can find that out and be like, oh, you don't want that? All right. Do you know anyone who might be like that?
Possibly. Possibly.
I 100% expect you and Hayes to be like, can you guys take my rank away?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that like it was never something I originally wanted because it meant more responsibility, which I did not want. But no, on the basis that like I still want to help out the PD. How do I word this properly? Well, for one, you kind of have to.
You want to be on reserve.
Not necessarily, but like. Okay, put it this way. Though it was forced upon me, it's one of those like I understand my role, gosh, I'm trying to find the appropriate way to describe this.
I think I understand.
The other thing that's important to understand is that Shift 3 is a whole different beast than both 1 and 2.
Oh, one of my goals will be, I'm just gonna tell Lucas, hey, you keep doing what you want. You're the Shift 3 sheriff. Do whatever you want. I'm not touching it.
Oh yeah, that's a great choice. That's a wonderful choice.
Yeah. I've fucked around with a lot of ideas. I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I still do. And who knows? Maybe I might not be able to execute it because Elena doesn't win, or she goes with someone else. But it's fun to think. It's fun to think. And I was mulling over a lot of crazy ideas, like unstable ideas, but something that has always been consistent with it, and that is, Lucas, continue doing what you're doing. Shift 3, I'm not touching it. I would only see you guys like once a week. I don't want to fuck with it.
Valid. That's valid. You want to know one of the biggest?
I get some crazy idea of like if I just like got rid of all the captain ranks and instead of a restructure, Lucas would stay the same. That's not going to happen, obviously.
Do you know that one of the biggest points of contention that ever occurred in Shift 3 was Jimmy Frost being fired? Because that was not a call made amongst Sky or Lucas.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but that does make sense. That firing someone outside of the shift without consulting the Shift 3 sheriff. Or the
to be clear,
captain.
Frost was very much so LSPD, but because we operated as a UPD in Shift 3, It rubbed everyone the wrong way. With like, there was no exceptions. Everyone hated the fact that it happened. Well, Duncan, listen, bud. I wish you the best in your pursuit. My only ask is that you do, if you do get the position, that you do the best you can to... Oh, there's Patty.
I will say something I do have that I have an advantage. I don't care if people hate me. I'm not going to...
Sorry. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh.
It's all
Oh,
good.
shit.
How's it going? Oh,
hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Beautiful. We are great.
What in the world is happening?
Gambling, apparently.
Hi, officer.
Yeah, we're
Gambling?
Are you okay?
Wait, hold up. Wait, now I'm confused. Where's the gambling happening?
Oh, it's happening in the back of that pub there.
Hold on, can I want to take a look here. Am I allowed inside?
Yeah, you can come in.
I can't. Hello. Oh my god, this is fancy.
You've got the Welsh dragon over there, and then you've got the gambling stuff upstairs, I think.
Gamba stuff upstairs? Wait. Guys, I can't gamble on duty. I don't think that would be professional.
Not with that attitude.
Why isn't there a door on the ship?
It's more than professional. It's almost like if you don't do it, it would be a kind of disgrace. You know what I mean?
Well.
Like you have the opportunity.
Well, you can't think about it that
How are you gonna spit that in the face?
Oh, what is happening? We have to climb a ladder?
Yeah, I think it's some underground situation.
Oh,
What's happened to the table? I mean, it's above ground. What's happened to your table? Why is it like broken?
A bunch of Italians, hit it with golf clubs.
Oh.
That was like 4 months ago, but the owners don't seem to give a shit, but I do,
Ooh.
Hell yeah, dog. Where do I get chips?
So, everything's up here. Just
Okay.
give me your name and hand me the thing.
Guys, I can't gamble. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I might come back off duty. I might come back off duty. I'm sorry. I just don't want to get fired. Damn, I want to gamble. I ain't gonna lie.
Excuse me, officer.
Yep.
I had a question about like rusted out M1911s and what we're supposed to do with them.
Yep. So don't throw them in a dumpster because they'll stay there. Hand them. You can bring them over to Mission Row to an officer, and they can dispose of them properly.
I did try that earlier and I didn't have much luck. So.
That's strange because all that would be required is your ID. Well, more than just handing it over, because like the importance of documenting who it came from is,
Yeah.
But I mean, do you have it with you?
I do.
Yeah. If you go ahead and show me your ID, I'll document your info. And if you just go ahead and hand that to me. Perfect.
Just didn't want to. I didn't want to do it in case someone found a way to, like maybe clean the rust off it, make it work again.
No, you're good. You're good.
Awkward. Yep.
All right. Well, I will. I'll go throw this in an evidence locker and document that you handed it in. You stay safe.
Roads.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I got excited to drive.
Also, Patty, slow the fuck down.
Oh yeah, right here. Right job.
Like I was saying, I have a special skill in that it's gonna sound harsh, but I don't mean it the way it sounds. I don't really care what people think. I'm not here to make friends. So if people are not happy with something, but I'm doing right by it, it's going to work out, or they're like, I'm not worried about people hating me because I already do. So I pretty much when it comes to certain things like this, I have thick skin basically. Rhodes, I don't know if you noticed.
I mean, yeah. It's just
There's a reason why I'm looking at Jack O'Neill as the whip, because I think he also has that same skill set, and he can also probably word things better than I can when it comes to trying to bringing sensitive subjects like that around. Also, his meetings are going to be so fucking fun. He's all about delegation and like making people shine and putting light on them.
I mean, that's good. That's definitely good. It's just,
would you require another additional as well?
I stand by what I said. Duncan, nothing against you at all. But I would much prefer that high command doesn't change again.
Well, the sad part is that if it's not me, it's gonna change anyway.
Wonderful.
So buckle up, buckaroo.
Hooray! Another unnecessary change. I can't wait.
You think if Marty wins, you think he'll keep everything the same?
No idea.
Yeah,
No
I'm just saying,
idea.
if it's not me, it's gonna be someone else. So I mean,
Was that? Is that like? Has that been communicated to the current high command? Like, do they know?
That's my speculation based on what Elena said. But I'm sure the silver of hope is that Elena talks to Aspen, and Aspen's like, yeah, I'm down for whatever you want to do. I'm pretty chill about things. And she says, all right, I'll keep you, Aspen.
I mean, like, even then, I would prefer that, because, again, with how things have been since Turner's return, and obviously it's a different department, but like, just the inner workings of both departments and everyone sort of being on board and doing the same thing, and it not being an us versus them, like that is a thing of the past, essentially.
Oh, if it's me, you can trust me that I'm not gonna go fucking to war with LSPD. I actually like Turner, and if Turner's still the man at the top, we're gonna get along just fine. I'll probably yap his ear off, but there's not gonna be interdepartmental bullshit.
Duncan, you want my other honest, genuine feedback?
I talk too much?
You can't yap people's ear off. You can do it here and there, but if you make it a consistent theme in all of your interactions with people, no one's going to want to talk to you. And you can say you have thick skin, but people have a threshold of like the things they want to do on duty, and oftentimes it's not be engaged in conversations for hours on end. To be clear, I'm not saying that about me. You need to know that of other people. Like,
oh, don't worry. That's what I got. That's what I got O'Neill for. When he was with me the other day and Elena was explaining it, at some point he was like, all right, I'm kind of glazing over from I think I got the gist of everything. I'm kind of glazing over from how long it's been, so, you know, we're going to cut it there.
Duncan, I have a question.
Yeah.
How come it sounds like O'Neill
would be the better option?
Would be doing most of the work.
Oh,
where do you fit into this equation? Because you can't just be the target with thick skin.
I think the idea is that we're both working out together, but he can fill my weaknesses. And I can fill his weaknesses too.
Okay.
And one of his biggest weaknesses, but he has an idea for it. It's actually a really good idea he had that will eliminate useless circles in long conversations. It's like carpool karaoke, but for meetings. And the karaoke is responding to boosts.
Huh?
So let's say you and me are sitting in this car, we're having a conversation, we're having a big meeting about something very important. And then a A-class boost pops off. We just drop everything and go to it. And we get back to the conversation later if we need to.
399, is there an active?
I mean, it's kind of what we do now. The thing is, we have sufficient units to respond to all the calls. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Firm. I have a quick
He
question.
has
Hey, Johnson.
an unhealthy obsession with it.
Hey, Rhodes, I have a quick question.
Hey, what's
Nicole
up?
told me to give you a call for car parts if there's no mechanics around.
Yes. Is Rainer no longer around?
No, there's nobody in the lemon list.
Oh, shit.
My car needs a 2 across bad.
It should be locker 390.
Okay.
It's like my personal locker 390, not like an evidence locker, or not an evidence locker, not like not
Like,
the one at Mission.
Like the evidence lockers that we keep down by the car parts, by the tools. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Where shift 3 parts are.
Yep.
Those lockers.
Yes. It should be in 390. Those were actually, I still need to speak to Davenport before I forget, but those were covered by the LSPD for shift 3 specifically, in the event where there's no mechanic. So feel free to take a 2 across. Let me know how many parts are in there.
Okay, I will check it out. I just have to go clock in so I can put them on my
Yeah,
car,
you're good.
but-
Just text me with how many parts are across, and I will speak to Victor regarding getting more parts, because I know it's been getting more use recently.
Okay, and then do I owe you anything for it?
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
All right, have a good one.
All right, thank you, Rhodes. Bye-bye.
Oh, I do have something to offer shift 3 with my spot as well.
Which is?
I got this feedback not because they were telling me about anything, but because they were complaining in the car about there's a difference in procedure between shift 3 and the other 2 shifts.
Oh,
when it
regarding
comes to
VAFs? Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
they
they're
were like
stupid.
frustrated and they were frustrated and complaining and like, what do we do because it's this time of day? Something I want to do is, like I said, I can visit you guys once a week. I want to talk to Lucas and be like, hey, what do you guys do that's different, and you want us to apply it to their shifts? Do you think it'd be better that way? Et cetera, et cetera. Communication between the shift, basically.
Right.
So that there's not some sort of confusion as to what time of day and what do we do with VAFs. You know what I mean? I'd like to talk to Lucas on a weekly basis, basically. And I can't. I have the means to do so.
Duncan, I don't even know why the VAF thing is a point of contention. It's the stupidest fucking argument I've ever heard in my life.
Which you refer? Do you refer shift 3's VAFs or the other ones?
Shift 3s, 1,000 fucking %. The other, there's no logic behind let's not VAF all of the interference cars helping the person who committed a violent felony.
Yeah, that's something I could definitely bring up with with some of those things. It kind of is out of my hand because like me and O'Neill can agree on it, but at the end of the day, it's us. I don't want to say versus the LSPD, but like if we're outnumbered, I mean, what the fuck can I do, really?
Well, there's nothing you can do because I, as an officer, am pushing the VAF. And unfortunately, you're not going to have any say over what I do. I mean, you can tell me not to do something, but if I can legally push charges or legally push legislation, I'm going to do it, regardless of your directive.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You can do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, with stuff like that, with situations like that, I would love to be able to actually talk to Lucas and like, or Sky.
But that's
or
not
whoever is
even
on.
a Lucas or Sky call. That's literally just
No, I mean like in situations like that to like learn about these things so I know that it's happening, like that there's a difference. So that when it comes
we
up
didn't
during the day, I
realize
can
there
be
was a
like,
difference until Dixie put up that senior report.
Yeah, so you see why I would like to be able to communicate them.
I
I don't want to change anything you guys do. I just want to hear about it and like learn the difference. You guys, like I said, Lucas, Sky, they can do whatever they want. There's no
Yeah, but
reason
it's
for
not.
me
It's not even a Lucas Sky thing. That's the thing.
Well, what I'm saying is, third shift 3 can do whatever they want. I'm not gonna come in and try to change what you guys do because you guys are a well-oiled machine, that's unified and don't break what isn't broken, which is ironic of me to say considering I'm probably going to break what's not broken with everything else.
Right.
But
oh
at
shit,
the
we
same
need
time,
parts.
I'm not the one that's breaking it, if I'm gonna be honest. So I'm just trying to maintain it while the hammer gets thrown at it. If that makes sense. Did you get stuck again talking to me?
No. We're not stuck. Don't forget,
like
the Scout's
second
one of
time
the
this has
only. The Scout's one of the only all-wheel drive cars we have, and a situation like this demonstrates why having an all-wheel drive car is so important.
Nice.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that.
And you were trying to jump out by hitting your bumper. I got fed up and I just walked away.
Where was that again?
That one little area by the canals.
I've been stuck so many times, but I've gotten my car every time. I want you to know that. That's the important bit.
Anyway,
we're not stuck.
I'm gonna do my best, Rhodes, you know?
I love living life on the edge, Duncan. That's why I chose this job. That's why I chose this job. It wasn't because...
If you like living on the edge, then you'll like living under my rule.
I said on the edge, not off the edge.
No, I'm gonna keep us on the edge and then back to stability within 2 weeks.
Okay.
I just need time to talk to everyone. That's the problem. I can't. If I could talk to literally every single person the day it's announced, I would save a lot of trouble. But that's not possible. I just need to talk to people, figure out where their heads are at, and then make a plan accordingly, and then execute the plan. It could be easy, right? Easy in and out.
No, Duncan. No, it's not going to be easy. Not at all. Not even close.
How hard is it going to get for me to talk to people? You think people will avoid me just to not have the talk?
I think, yeah, I think people would avoid you just to avoid the talk.
I think someone's already doing that. I've been trying to talk to them because I've never met them before in the BCSO, and I'm trying to meet everybody.
1 second.
And they're
Go
like,
for 390.
I'll call you back.
You stuck, Step Bro?
No. This is intentional. I love living life on the edge. Sorry, they were just... I was getting a status check.
I see. I think someone's already avoiding me, and they don't know why. Or they do know why, they just don't know what they're missing by not talking to me.
Huh.
Maybe they do know what they're missing.
Who's avoiding you?
I'm trying to talk to people I've not met in the BCSO, and I've not met Rose Thorne. So I'm trying to do a survey, and she's like, I'll get back to you in like 10 minutes, and she never does.
Have you spoken with Rupert?
Yes. We've met. Me and Rupert have met.
Ricky?
Ricky, last name?
Dallas?
I think so.
Alice Watson's on duty. She's a good one.
Yeah, I know. Rhodes. I'm not new.
Okay.
But I will like, I'm talking about people I've never met before. I plan to talk to everyone after this is set in stone. I don't want to do it now because people will freak out.
Now, what would make you think that, Duncan?
They will blow up Princess's phone and say, "Do not pick him. Do not pick him. Do not pick him."
Oh, it's all right. Life on the edge, Duncan. Life on the edge.
But when the dust is settled, I will talk to everyone, and I hopefully people are at least open to talking to me.
Hopefully.
To 11 to 10, any
Again, We've had many conversations regarding this in the past. You know my stance on the mayors having power.
morning,
It's
Lucas.
just out of respect for you, and me saying I'm not leaking anything, I'm not going to mention